Hey guys, so on today's podcast, we got to sit down with Yuri. Yuri is my cabinet guy that we refer all our customers to for anyone looking to do kitchen or bathroom vanities or anything like that. They go see Yuri. So I got to sit down with him and get him on the podcast and pick his brain, and he told us how it all started, and it's a good story. So I hope you guys enjoy. So the whole story is, me and you've been working together for how long now? You and Bobby have been working together for a long time.
I guess maybe at least 7 years. It's maybe say 7 or 8 years.
Right. And
I met him through somebody else. He was doing work for someone else.
Right,
That's
yeah.
actually met him.
Right. Fortunately, Bob's the best now. Right?
Yep.
Yeah. You heard it. So now, I always was curious because you're a beautiful showroom, beautiful business. All my customers love you. You want to say what you do?
I'm in the cabinet business and cabinet supply business. So we supply, we're cabinet dealers, and we sell materials to make cabinets from the ground up.
Right.
So all the supplies, that's originally how we started business. That business is about 43 years old.
Oh, wow. And
then the cabinet business I started probably 25 to 30 years ago, probably, I think.
So you started that?
I added it to what we had because the supply end took a heavy hit when Home Depot came around. So I lost a lot of my contractor base, which were guys running in, paying top dollar COD for a can of glue, a piece of plywood, a piece of formica, make their own countertops kind of thing.
Right.
And then we supplied all the cabinet shops. And formica was very popular then, so wood started to take off.
Oh, wow.
And the guys who didn't make the transition from formica to wood went out, or went strictly to installing. So formica shops were closing left and right.
Wow.
And that was the brunt of our business.
Okay.
So and then a recession hits, and we're scrambling around. What are we gonna do? What are we gonna do? I said, one of the guys that I used to do business with started installing cabinets. He said, listen, we buy cabinets from consumers. We get some stuff from Home Depot. And I'm like, I can tell you how to build a cabinet. I know the materials. I go, but designing kitchens, laying out kitchens. So I approached someone locally who had stock cabinets. And I made a deal with this contractor that I knew. I said, if you help me lay out kitchens, everything you buy, I'll give you a cost. So that this way, I get the experience. Yeah. You get the best number possible. Yeah. And so that's how it happened. And so it started, and we started with like an 8-foot run of a base and an upper in different colors. And now it's more than half of what I do. Wow. Yeah. That's awesome. So it really, and growing. So it's the cabinet, the supply business, there are no cabinet. We used to have 2 or 3 shops that opened a week. Right. Now you're lucky to have 2 or 3 shops open a year. Wow. Nobody's going to college to become a cabinet maker or, opting to do that. Yeah. So the kitchen business came in at the right time, so it kind of picked up the slack and then ran. Right. And it still has room for growth. It's just a matter of what you're going to add to it and how much you're going to add.
Bob and weeding, making adjustments.
Yeah, so, but it was a learning curve, and the girl that works for me for about 37 years, we trained her at the same time, so.
So is this a family business?
It's my partner, my father-in-law got me the job where I am now.
Wow, okay.
And then he ended up working for me for about, still, we worked side by side, made recipes for like 17 years, and my partner and I, like I said, I'm there 40 years. Could be 40 years, so I'm 17.
Wow.
Yeah, so, it's a long time.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
So
I started there out of high school, and in high school, and, I was dating my wife, and my father-in-law, mentioned it, I went.
Found a niche, and you ran with it.
And then, we just, it worked out, which I guess, life is timing.
Right.
But
part luck, part mostly timing.
Yeah, it's being in the right place at the right time, and, you can get an opportunity and do nothing with it. Right. You can inherit something and blow it.
Right.
But it just depends on where you go with it. I only, we came from simple background, poor, so I've worked my whole life. I don't know what it's like not to.
It's funny because I just talked to Principal West Babylon Schools here this morning. We're trying to develop that class for kids at high school. Right. And they pretty much tell them that same story. Right. To tell them that it's okay if you don't have stuff together. Now you may stumble into something and run with it.
I was in 10th grade, got approached for a scholarship to play lacrosse. I was a great lacrosse player. A good lacrosse player. It's just great. I was good enough to
Modesty.
get us, and I passed on it.
Right.
I didn't even, and I stopped playing lacrosse because I started to work.
Right.
My parents were divorced. I helped pay bills at home.
Right.
And I was working full time and going to school full time.
Right.
So I worked at an auto parts store 5 days a week, 4 hours a day. And I worked at a gas station 6 to 6 for the same guy who owned gas stations as well.
Mm-hmm.
So I worked 24 hours over the weekend, 20 during the week, so I put in 44 hours in high school.
Yeah.
But once I got the taste of having money in my pocket,
Right.
it wasn't even, what do we do, go to college now, I'm broke?
Yeah.
You know, it's not gonna happen.
No.
Broke is enough. I'm done being broke, I'm done, you know, that kind of thing, so, and just ran, and I've cut grass, I've done all kinds of stuff.
Yeah.
So,
No, you've done whatever you had to do.
yeah, listen, it's a matter of, the thing is, I'm a big advocate for education, because I think that that's like the one thing that I didn't do, but
Mhm.
if you're kind of floundering, there's not a return on your investment for education today,
Right.
unless you're gonna be a professional of some sort.
Well,
You know, you're gonna get a marketing degree, you're gonna come out, you're gonna make what?
yeah, but if you have that degree, this is what I also try to tell kids, because I don't want to shy anyone away from
Sure.
college who wants to go to college. I want to show them that, hey, whatever path you pick, whether it be college or not, or a trade or not a trade or whatever, you have to get your education, put your dues in, and then work your butt off for
Oh.
X amount. You know,
Agreed.
everyone has that number of years that, you know, it's 7 days a week, you're working day and night.
Right.
I think that's the confusion, and it's funny because someone commented on my Facebook pages just last night saying that. He was saying that he's a guy who came from money,
Right.
and, you know, went to college and got sold on the hopes and dreams, and now it's hard for him. But
Right.
he also kind of, from what he was insinuating, playing the blame game, like, oh, it was easier for these, it wasn't easy for anybody. It was,
No.
anyone who made something of themselves that I talked to worked their butts off.
Right. Listen, my father-in-law got me the job where I am, and my partner, who was my boss at the time, I was like, I got it. Go home. Don't worry. I'll open. I'll close. Don't worry. I got it.
Yeah.
Because I was always like a take charge to begin with, and if I'm here, you're not. That means I can make some decisions on my own.
Right.
And he let me run with it.
And
So
you
I was
wanted that
fortunate.
responsibility.
Yeah. So I was, there day and night when we were building it. I work 6.5 to 7 days a week.
I've been trying, I say that all the time, that if kids just, or even, guys in their 20s, those aren't kids.
Right.
Kids are like teenagers. If they went and worked for somebody and they took the bull by the horns,
Right.
kind of speak,
Sure.
I think that would be a breath of fresh air for any business owner.
Listen,
whether it be a
anybody that
restaurant
works
or
for you.
anything. Yeah.
If you're open-minded enough, a
Yeah.
lot of people have control issues. I don't have a control issue if you're coming to me and you're gonna come to me with an idea that if I'm gonna make money on it, why would I want to? I'd
Yeah.
have to be an idiot
Yeah.
to say, shy you away from it.
Mhm.
All right, if the idea is great, fine, let's do it.
Yeah.
I'm not the end all on everything or
No, if there's
the
someone else
authority on
better,
everything. There's
yeah.
things that I can learn. So if someone comes to me, we're probably doing this the wrong way. Okay, well, what do you got? Okay, well, let's try it.
Yeah.
I have no problem with it. None.
I'm the same way.
But you don't have a lot of people. A lot of people just, and that's why they work for people, because they'll always be an employee, and that's fine.
That's your choice.
There's a lot to say for good night.
Yeah.
See you tomorrow.
How many times a week you get agita thinking about, would you now? I guess not so
I can
much
tell you
this-
that we're in business long enough, and I've been through enough recessions
we
where
don't have as much.
we've gone through a string. I think our longest was probably close to 10 years.
Mm-hmm.
So you go through this recession, and our business already was seasonal. So you're making money for 3 months, and you're losing money for 2. So you're always playing catch up. But when you hit a recession, our business, it just
That was it.
comes to a dead stop.
Right.
People stop doing it. So we've been, where we've had to shut lights in the warehouse, and we had to have,
Yeah.
problems paying bills and vendors and payroll and, pension obligations, and it was a mess
Yeah.
for a long time. So again, I think that learning a lesson the hard way is an education.
Yeah.
So going through that and maneuvering has a lot to say for it. I don't downplay an MBA, but you talk to someone in an MBA and then everything's by the book. So if you're gonna teach me something, you have to have done it first to teach me. That's my philosophy.
Yes.
And I'm not downplaying a professor, but I'm just saying I don't have a lot of belief in that, a lot of things like that, because you're telling me how to run my business. Did you ever run a business? You know, did you ever not be able to meet payroll?
Yeah.
Did you ever not know if you were going to be around
Going
next
to your line
week?
of credit.
Yeah, and going into your line of credit,
Yeah.
working on a negative balance, and you know, not taking a paycheck.
And praying that it picks back up. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So there's a lot to say for that skin in the game, but you know, I've been through enough recessions at this point that it's like
Well,
it's always here,
right.
and I think that that's what we've been in such bad spots at times that I think that that's what keeps me moving, because I just don't want to go back there.
Right.
You know, so I get up and I'm not going back there, I'm not going back there, I'm not going back there. So I
Right.
try to hustle up every penny that I can.
Yeah.
You know, so, and listen, you go through times, you could only do that for so long too. I get complacent at times.
Yeah.
But the minute I get complacent, you see it in the numbers.
Well, you can hit every angle of what you really do. You can go, I don't want to say low end, but you can say affordable.
Right.
Affordable. And then you can go all the way up to, you know, crazy stuff.
Right, so like say 60%, 65% of the business is contractor based.
Yes.
Right, so today you're doing a knockdown, you're building this ridiculous home and you need a high-end kitchen, so I have it. And then tomorrow you're doing a basement for somebody and they need them. So why should I send you somewhere else? So
Right.
I have something for a contractor to pretty much have anything that they need.
Right.
Anytime, so we can fit in the budgets. It's hard for the staff because now you're coming in and this 10 by 10 kitchen could be $4,000
Right.
or it could be $15,000.
Right.
So it's hard for them to shut off
Right.
and turn on.
Figure it out.
So what we've done basically is everybody's on a salary plus a kicker.
Okay.
So you're making your money.
Right.
So what do you care what it takes?
Right.
Just get it done.
Make
Make it up on the
profitable.
right.
Right.
It's just everybody should get treated the same and have the same experience and
Right.
the same level of respect. I don't want to look down on someone because you know you bought $4,000 worth of cabinets and it's not affordable, and you don't know what comes of it.
Right.
You know, I've done work for. I did a job for a couple. The guy comes in. They just moved in together. They're taking over his grandmother's house, and he buys I don't know $2,500 worth of cabinets and a full mica countertop. And he's a fireman, so he's going to put it in himself. He's got some help. So I said, if you need a hand, let me know. You know, is something, if you have any questions. So he calls me up and he goes, something's not working out. So I said, he's in Cora. So I go, listen, I'm going to be out there in about 2 days. I said, I'll stop by on my way back if you want to wait. So he said, we're in no hurry, I'll wait for you. So I came back and he just had something in the wrong place. And I would say a year and a half later, couple comes in and asks for me and said, hi, you know, we're the parents of so-and-so. And I said, oh, yeah, you know, how are they?
Right.
Did they get married yet? I know they're
Right.
living together. They're engaged. And Anthony, his name was Anthony, and oh, I can't believe what you did for them. I mean, you know,
Just by stopping by.
yeah, because it wasn't a lot of money,
Right.
and it doesn't hurt.
Right.
Long story short, the parents probably spent about $150,000 in my place.
Wow.
Yeah, just no questions asked.
Yeah.
And at the time, what contractor do you recommend? And we did the house from soup to nuts.
Yeah.
Well, 3 bathrooms, kitchens. We did an entertainment center,
That's awesome.
and that was just from helping the kid out. You know, so and I always, you know, that's your cheapest form of advertising.
Yeah.
You can spend as much money as you want on something, but at the end of the day, that's
Well, we talk about that too. We're asking people what you can do for them, not so much what they can do for you.
right.
Because that's the bad mindset.
Yes.
You know, that's,
Yeah, it's just again, and service is difficult when you're busier and there's a lack of help. The service aspect takes a hit no matter what.
You know
no
what's
matter
funny?
how much you try.
I just think today alone, there's a guy, I won't say the name because it's his last name, but I gave his son an estimate in 2020, or 2022.
Right.
He still hasn't gotten the boiler.
Right.
But his father needs a boiler, and I'm doing his dad's boiler.
Yeah,
So we're still waiting. Now I'm gonna do the dad's boiler, and I'm probably still gonna get the son eventually when he's
Right.
ready. So like, you know, it's just funny.
it's
how it works.
hysterical. Yeah, well, I've gotten a recommendation from someone I lost a job from.
Yeah.
You know, and they're like, "We're so sorry we didn't use you," and they, you know, the people, yeah, and they recommended somebody.
Yeah, right.
We should have gone there, and you know, and the thing with cabinets is, in a boiler, once you put it in, you're not taking it out and returning it.
No.
You know, so once you've made the commitment to buy cabinets and they're in, they could be full, but you bought them already.
Yeah.
So what are you gonna do?
You gotta
You're
figure
kind
it
of
out.
stuck, so you lost a sale, but
Right.
that's happened before also. But
Yeah.
the industry is definitely interesting. You know?
Yeah. Yeah, you're definitely more on the finish and than me on boiler. But what
It's not that. It's just like you install a system.
we install that, yeah.
Right, and what are you gonna do? Now rip it out and return it if you don't, so it's a funny thing, but like I said, most clients they're great. It's just a little bit of the retail end is tough.
Yeah.
It's tough.
But it's always been tough in your career as it changed, or do you notice now that it's tougher?
It's tougher only because of access to information.
Okay.
So whatever in the past I could before we went to the 3-dimensional drawings, I could hand draw something. Go, this is it.
Mm-hmm.
You didn't change it. That's what you got.
Yeah.
The selections of now you got HGTV. You got the do-it-yourself channel.
Pinterest.
You got Pinterest.
Yeah.
You got House.
Yeah.
And people come in. I want this. Well, you can't have that. Why not? Well, your ceilings are not 20 foot tall. It's like,
oh, I want this, but
and they look at you like,
yeah.
but I really want it. No, I got it, but you really got to sell your house and buy another, I guess.
Right.
So, but that level of it has completely driven us nuts.
Well,
Pinterest helps. Like if someone really does, you're busy and it's like, look, this is the kind of stuff I like. Get me something. Can you do that? Well, we can do that. We can do this. We can do that. So it kind of helps you there because again, your staff doesn't walk through every morsel of it.
Your 3D renderings really help.
Yes.
Consumers. Our customers love it.
Yeah.
So
They do.
When did you guys start doing that?
Probably about 20 years ago.
20 years ago.
Yeah, 20.
Wow,
22
that's
years
been
ago.
a while.
Yeah, well, Home Depot started it,
So you had it.
and consumers did it, right? And then guys like us, we were hand drawing,
Right.
and believe it or not, in those days, a lot of the contractors came in and they did the floor plans themselves.
Really.
They came in, this is what I need, and then you just wrote it up.
Mm-hmm.
And now the contractors are more like, we'll draw it for you.
Yeah.
And that's what we did with the contractors. We tried to take everything off their hands
Mm-hmm.
and try to make it easy for them because you're scrambling around, you're trying to sell the job. And I like the smaller guys because
Coordinate the trades.
the smaller guys need your help.
Yeah.
They're the guys, they're chief cook, they're the bookkeeper, they're ordering material, they're swinging the hammer.
Mm-hmm.
We got it, don't worry about it.
Right.
Send them in, we'll do whatever we need to do for them. Let me come there, we measure every job,
Right.
so we'll do that. So these guys you're not responsible, I'm
Yeah.
responsible. And most of the time, because if you make a mistake
Mm-hmm.
and you're a regular customer of mine, probably gonna eat it anyway. So
Right.
if I'm gonna eat it, I might as well go measure it.
Go do yourself.
Right, and if I made a mistake, then I'm eating it myself.
Right.
So there's no, I knew I shouldn't.
No, customers like too that you're doing the counters, you're doing the cabinets, you're doing the countertops, and you're doing the bouncing.
Right.
So like it's one stop shop.
We do handles,
Yeah.
and I tried to get into more, but I tried the tiles, so that's something that we wanted to do for a while.
Mm-hmm.
Very profitable, but you need someone in house to
Right.
help.
That's a whole other.
Yeah, so someone wants to lay out their backsplash. So you're not really qualified to do it. You're just bogging down this one person in a place with too much.
Right.
Too much. So if you can if I could add something like tile, we're just starting to add faucets
Mm-hmm.
because that's like a natural thing. So you see, don't have to have a big selection. You have 10, 15 faucets on display.
Right.
Comes in 2 or 3 different finishes. If you want it, fine. And believe it or not, the one thing is the instant gratification of the internet
Mm-hmm.
kind of helps. Like someone comes in, they see it, they buy it.
Right.
They're not. Oh, that's fine. That's
Yeah.
fine. That's good enough. That's good enough.
It was close enough. Yeah.
Yeah.
It still delivers water out of the spout.
Yeah, because some people don't want to shop at all,
Right.
and the younger generation definitely doesn't want to shop.
No.
Everything's on the internet. Buy.
Yeah.
So they do the same thing when they come around.
Oh, so that's perfect.
Yeah.
Well, that helps us too. If they can start picking faucets at your place too.
Yeah.
It's one less thing.
It's one less thing.
Kind of hold their hands.
Right.
And
And
be
people will,
blind.
you can steer someone in a direction.
Right.
Most people don't know what they want or
Right.
what they're looking for, what matches or what doesn't match. But
Mm-hmm.
that kind of thing. We really try to help and hold the customer's hand as much as possible.
Right.
But it's all time.
Yeah.
That's all it really is. It's not. If I could clone myself, it'd be great. But so.
How many people have said that, Frank?
I say it every day.
Like you said it like 2 weeks ago to me. Like,
Oh my God.
It's like just it would be. But then yes and no because you have people around you that are stronger in areas you're not. I'm sure.
Oh sure.
So
yeah.
so you have to clone like your best of every area and clone that.
Right.
That would be ideal.
For me, it's mostly patience. It's you have to have patience.
Yeah.
I'm out of it by the time I get home.
Right.
But during the day. But I goof with my wife. I said I got 12 wives at a time. I got
Right.
12 women that are calling me, and
Yes.
in the middle of calling me, it's like, oh my God, he just spilled his drink, and
Uh-huh.
and it's like, okay,
Yeah.
so you're on the phone, but
Right.
you're juggling 12 women who are calling you. Some 2-3 times a day.
Yeah.
So And now, with everybody working from home, the funny thing is when you go to someone's house, it's like a group meeting now.
Right.
You know, I used to be in and out. It's now, and if I tell a story all the time. Women say, "Oh, do you mind? I'd like my daughter to help us with colors. She's unbelievable picking colors, and she's really good."
FaceTime?
No, she was home.
Oh, she's home.
So
Okay.
she goes and gets it. She's like 11.
Oh, really?
So she brings out this 11-year-old. And I'm like, okay.
All right.
So Sally's gonna pick colors, and I'm sitting with an 11-year-old going through
Yeah.
colors now.
Yeah.
Or, you know, husband's in the house now, and, you know, he's on a call or something, and she goes, my husband's on a call, we'll start, okay. He comes out an hour later, I'm done, basically, goes, okay, bring me up to speed.
Right.
So you spend another, bring me up to speed, where have you been?
Yeah.
Oh, I was on a call, I'm sorry, but normally that wouldn't happen. Now you're spending more time.
Yeah.
When you're doing consult, though, going to someone's house, which I do a lot of,
Yeah.
you know, so.
Well, that's a cost of doing business, and people
Yes.
don't necessarily understand that either.
Right.
Like writing an estimate for boilers and air conditioning is not always so bad unless it's a complex house.
Right.
Writing an estimate for construction can be really involved, especially when we're doing takeoffs and whatever else. You know, size of windows, getting pricing. It could take 2 days. You know, so like just to write an estimate, you know, we try to be as detailed as we can, but we usually are a little vague in the first process, and then when the customer wants to go forward, then we get into more detail.
Yeah.
Because if you wanted to detail every estimate, you get nothing done.
Right.
You get 2 estimates done a week, and that's just
No,
not
it's
feasible.
it's so, and the problem is that it's, you know, it starts like in our business, consumers does a rendering, or Home Depot's paying somebody by the hour,
Yeah.
and Lowe's, so that person's sitting there, they don't care.
There's no.
They don't care,
accountability.
there's 4 people online,
Yeah.
they'll sit there with you for 4 hours.
Right.
And I just can't do, so what we do is we'll have you come in, you could bring in rough dimensions, and then we'll go through it, and you spend an hour, pick your brain, leave,
Right.
let us, it's better that you leave because we can give you more options. We play around with drawing a little bit
Right.
more, and then send you a few options. If you're
Right.
gonna sit here and spend 4 hours of your day,
It's tough.
system crashes, the program is frozen, all that kind of nonsense.
Right.
But,
Right.
you know, people think they're coming out for an Audi,
Right.
you know, a lot of times.
Yeah.
When they come into your showroom, they
Make
go,
a day of it.
yeah, pretty much. Well, how much time?
Yeah.
Well, you're gonna lay it out on the spot. So we, like consumers, will lay it out on the spot.
Yeah, but what's it gonna look like?
Well, the thing is, the consumers, like the owners, his push is, we're not designers, we're salespeople.
Okay.
You're here to sell a kitchen.
Right.
You're not here to make it a piece of art.
Right. Okay.
And that's a different, you know, for me, it's a personal thing for somebody. And
Because they
It
want to
would
say who
kill
designed
me
this kitchen.
if you left my place and you were miserable about what you got,
Mhm.
I don't care what you spent. It would
Yeah.
just, if I knew that you left my place and you're like, wow, this is terrible.
Yeah.
I'll pull it out.
Yeah.
I'll replace it before that. I
Yeah,
seriously,
right.
I hear you say, I didn't replace it. So
Yeah.
that's the thing. For me, we're designers
Yeah.
first.
Right.
You know, I don't push. We don't. You know, we do follow up. Like now, I try to do mandatory follow up with the girls. It's like, you gotta call people back.
You have to.
Yeah, you have to call back.
Yeah.
So, you know, and it's difficult now because you're busy and shorthand.
We're big on that, making a phone call, like Sue make the phone call, but Frank, how long have you been asking for that contact us for emails?
Just got it. Thank
You
God.
just got it,
Yeah,
fine,
yeah.
but you've
Couple
been
weeks.
asking.
Couple weeks.
Oh, yeah.
You know how difficult it is for your staff to, I go, oh, okay, where'd they come from? Oh, who recommended them? Oh, I didn't ask. That's the first, did someone recommend you?
Yeah, you have to know.
Is it that difficult?
Yeah.
Yeah, so, and the best of the best, my best doesn't
Yeah.
do it. You know, so it's, and you really want to, because you want to thank the person who sent it.
Absolutely.
You want to know where it came from.
Yeah.
You know, you just
Do
didn't
something
walk in
right
the
for them,
door.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, and 95%, we don't advertise anymore, 95% of my business is referral.
Yeah.
You know, so you count on it, but it's just, it's one simple question. How'd you hear about us?
Mhm.
And I can't get them to do it for the life of me.
Yeah.
For the life of me. Oh, how'd they hear about us? Oh, I don't know.
Well, now they can hear about you through this podcast.
Yeah, there you go.
There you go.
There you go.